getting a headache from this headband, but it's cute, so we're gonna tough it out. Okay. Hey guys, it's me, Nessa, and I'm back from the dead. Yes, I have resurrected. Literally, metaphorically, physically, any leads that I can, I have, and I will continue to rise. Okay, so let me try to explain. I do want to apologize for the long break, extended break. And, well, I don't want to apologize because everything is divine timing. So for me, I had to take a break because I am 30. How old am I? I am 31, going to be 32 next month on the 13th. So a little under a month for me to have another birthday. And I've done a lot of just like soul searching. And for me, like, I'm an emotional person. So whenever I feel, well, on a daily basis, I go through a whole surge of emotions from happy to sad to excited to depressed to overzealous, just like a whole bunch of different emotions. And for me, I don't think it's a bad thing, but okay, let's take that back. Anything could be a bad thing. So too much of anything is bad. So for me, I wanted to go like on a quest to try to understand myself better, to understand why I make the choices I make, why I react the way I do. And a lot of it stems from just life, like from childhood to adolescenthood to young adulthood. That might be the same thing, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's just like when you're born like an empty, besides genetics, which is things that you can't help, it comes from your parents and your parents' parents and so on. But when you're like a child, you're like an empty slate. So all the experiences that you have, it basically molds the type of person who you become based on what you're exposed to. That will help you like function through life. And true enough, some people are the opposite of what they were exposed to, and maybe it's a conscious choice or unconscious choice. You know, for me, nothing is black and white. So I think when you get a certain age, you realize that you have to take control of your life, and you have to start doing the work towards becoming the person you want to be. So if you want to become a person who, if you've been a person who've been ruled by your emotions, and you really want to work on, like, which is me, and you really want to work on controlling your emotions, then you really have to put in work. And like that's what I've been doing for the past year or so. And for me, it started with just like psychology and understanding why people do what they do. For me, that was like me having all these dating, like just dating different guys and trying to figure out like, okay, I keep attracting certain guys. Why? There must be something wrong with me. So that, and it's not necessarily not anything necessarily wrong with you. It's just you keep on falling in a certain pattern when it comes to certain situations. So either you can continue that and expect different results, which they call insanity, or you can change the way you do things and the way you perceive things and the way you respond to things in hopes of, you know, getting better results. So that's what I'm about. I'm about I'm about labeling the problem, acknowledging the problem, getting to the root of it or the truth. I'm not a type of person who likes to mold things to what I think is right. I like to literally find the truth. So for me, I went on a journey of truth, and unbeknownst to me, I've been on my truth journey led me to a spiritual journey. So at first for me it was very scary because it's like everything that I knew or everything that I thought I knew, I literally know nothing at all. And I've always been a type of person that was interested in like nature and healing. And even though like I work in a medical field, I always like gravitated towards holistic type of healing, or healing with the environment versus using man-made type of healing things. So because I used to always think like, what did they do back in the day before there were quote unquote doctors and hospitals and laboratories and all that stuff? Like, what did they do? And I remember I was talking to a patient about this, and some girl was like, well, people just died back in the day. And I'm like, okay, obviously people didn't just die, because then, I mean, a lot of people did die, and medicine has helped us a lot in a lot of advances when it comes to the health field. But at the same time, it's really like a business. So nobody really cares about the well-being of humans. They just care about making money. And I feel like using natural remedies is more so coming from a compassionate perspective, because you basically nature's free. You don't have to pay for nature. Nature's all around us. It's outside. And okay, I know I can be a little bit all over the place, but I hope y'all are sticking with me. So for me, I just wanted to, well, the first thing I learned, for me, the more I learn, the more I would definitely share. But until I get like a really good grasp of everything, I really don't want to go into detail about exactly what I believe, what I don't believe. I'll give a little bit. Like, I do believe that there is the Most High. I do believe that he or she, I don't know if it's gender, if there's a gender to God or the Most High, but I believe that we were gifted. I believe that everything that we need is already inside of us. There's nothing outside of us that we really necessarily need to be happy, to be whole. The Most High gifted us with astrology, planet, space. That He gifted us with astrology to help lead us towards our destiny. Like, that's where psychics come from, and astrology. And I believe that nature is here to help heal us. Like they say, water is emotions, air is your mental. What else? Air, mental. Fire is like your enthusiasm. And earth is for, did I say that already? No, earth is for like eating plants, herbs, all that good stuff. So I actually ordered this book off of Amazon yesterday. It's called Natural Healing, I believe. When I get it, I'll put it in a video and let y'all see what it is. But it's basically like using nature to heal. And I really, really, really feel like a strong pull to do that, because I've always been a compassionate person. I am definitely an empath. And I don't believe that I can really move forward wholeheartedly until I figure out who I am and where I come from and what I'm supposed to be doing. I've always heard quotes like, famous Drake, know thyself. You can't get to where you're going until you know where you've been. And unfortunately, in the African American community or the Black community, we have been stripped a lot of us have been stripped, well, majority of us have been stripped our true history. Like everything they teach us, in everything on TV is a lie. Everything in schools is a lie. Even in the Bible, a lot of it is metaphorical, and a lot of half-truths in there, because basically they don't want you to know who you are, okay? They don't want you to know that black girl magic is real. They don't want you to know that where you stand in the universe, if you know what your purpose is, what you were created to do, then nobody can stand in the way of your destiny, besides yourself. So if the government can play a huge role, and which they have, but government plays a huge role in keeping everybody enslaved, basically not knowing the true history of how the earth was created, who created it, what people did, or what purpose each person had in the world's creation. And I'm coming to find out that black women who are quote unquote considered less than $5 in America. Yeah, that's if you Google black women's worth in America, I think it's around $5 or something like that. So like when a young girl sees that, or even like a woman sees that, subconsciously, like you can have all the confidence in the world, but if you have a blank history, you only know an oppressed history, you only know that you've had to struggle your whole life. You never had anything. If you do have something, it's by the, grace of God. It's by luck. It's not entitled. It's not, you're not born with it. It's something that the lucky one got. When really all of that is a lie. God gifted you with full abundance, wisdom, intelligence, and the spiritual way basically helps to cultivate and nurture that. That way you can become your highest self. And yeah, like for me, it's brought a lot of peace because like I've always dealt with like a little anxiety and like a little depression, but certain things, like certain major events in my life, really heightened it. And not knowing how to self soothe myself was a big issue for me. So I did have some codependency tendencies, whether it be a boyfriend or a best friend. I always felt like I needed, and it's not like I just needed someone there all the time, because like I always had this like part of me that wanted to be alone. Like even if I'm hanging out with a friend all day, by the end of the day I want to be alone. Like I want to go home. I want to unwind. I want to reflect on the day, and that probably goes in tune with me being a INFP, and just like needing that alone time to harvest my own feelings, you know what I mean? As you can see, like I've twisted my hair and I'm not locking it. People keep asking me, am I locking it? I'm not locking it. I just like to twist because right now they're convenient. I wanted to, excuse me, the reason why I put down the wigs for a minute is because when I was on like this quest of like history, the world's history, American history, African history, African American history, I was watching a lot of Malcolm X lectures and Martin Luther King and Angela Johnson and who else? Brother Khalid Muhammad. And like those people just really helped me to remember, or really just put a lot of pride in who I am, and my hair has a meaning, and not to like fall into the worldly traps of trying to be something that I'm not. And a lot of anxiety was coming from trying to fit into a society that I never belonged in, or just trying to force a circle into a square or a square into a circle. Like you cannot be who, like a lot of people can have a good poker face and be what the world wants them to be, but for me, I'm a truth seeker. So I really, 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 really need to know my purpose, where I'm going, where I came from. I ask questions. I've never been the type to just do what I say and don't ask questions. Like I've never been that type. I've even younger, I used to hear things, and just was like, okay, but why? Like it's hard for me to follow suit if I don't understand and agree with the reasoning. And I feel like I'm a very logical person. Sometimes my emotions do steer me towards the emotional choice versus the logical choice. But at the end of the day, I am a single mother, so if I made all emotion, all choice, all my if I made like all my decisions emotionally, then I don't think that I would have my child, because like you have to have some type of saneness when you are a single mom, because you have to make not only important decisions for yourself, but important decisions for your son. So, okay, let's just take a break because I've been talking a lot, okay? But yeah, I just wanted to share with you guys that I'm good, Um, I feel like this year is going to be the year for me to keep growing internally and to walk into my divine feminine. I finally understand why things never worked out in the past with certain situations, why I am in the place that I am now. Everything is divine timing. You have to know that. You have to know deep in your heart that no matter what, everything is going to be fine. You cannot be ruled by fear. All a demon is that voice in your head telling you, oh, you can't do this, or you're not smart enough for that, or you don't look like her, so you can't do it that way, or you're not as good as this person, so you never get that. Like, you cannot. First thing you have to do is strip ego, dead the ego. Anything that has you comparing yourself to others, feeling bad in any way, you have to let it go. Okay, that was part of me with my natural hair. Like, I always feel like, oh, I don't want to wear my natural hair until it's a certain length or whatever. And honestly, it was for dumb reasons, because I felt like my neck was long and I wanted to hide it with hair, and just like a whole bunch of shallow, dumb reasons. And honestly, ever since I've been wearing my hair, I've been getting more compliments than I ever have wearing the wig. So yeah, I'm just excited, and I don't know, excited for this new journey. And the more I learn, the more I'm going to share, of course. So yeah, this is already 17 minutes long, so I'm gonna cut it right there. And I just pray that everybody finds peace, because I really feel like peace and kindness and knowledge and love. You cannot forget love. You cannot do anything without love. But yeah, those 4 things for me are like the top of my priority list. Like, I do have a lot of things on my to-do list. I have faith. For the longest, I didn't have faith. Well, I've always had faith, but I think I lost my hope. Like, when you go through a series of unfortunate events, sometimes life can have you, sometimes life can get you down in the dumps. And that's why we're not supposed to be worldly. We're supposed to live spiritually. We're all spirits. We're all spirit beings having a human experience. So once we learn that we're not of the world, just in the world, then you can stop caring about what people think of you and, reaching these milestones just to keep up with the Joneses, or to, none of that matters. Because at the end of the day, money is just paper. Money doesn't mean anything. Nature's everything you need. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to say I want to go sleep out on the ground, but, I would if I could. If I could, I would. You know what I'm saying? I haven't reached that level yet, but ideally, that's where I want to be. But yeah, okay. I'm at the end of this now. It's 19 minutes. I gotta go. Today's Sunday. I have to do some things. And yeah, I'll be back. Hopefully it won't be another month or 2. But like, I really do this when I feel the energy to do it. Like, when I feel I feel my aura telling me, okay, today, like, I think about YouTube every single day. I wish I could record a video every day, but sometimes I'm just like not in the mood. I don't want to get on here looking crazy, sounding stupid. And I just want to make sure that I'm saying exactly what I'm trying to express, even though this video was kind of all over the place. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that I am on a spiritual journey. My anxiety has pretty much almost non-existent, which I'm so happy about. My depression, depression is pretty much, I would say on a scale from 1 to 10, depression is probably like at a 2.